Hey everybody, Steve here with White Knuckle Off-Road Adventures. Just got done building my custom rear bumper for my 2015 T4. My last video a few months back, we broke that light out and decided I better come up with something. It's been a while and looking all over at different bumpers for this. Some of them just didn't look like they were all that strong. And some of the ones that looked like they were really well built were really expensive. So I thought I would just see what I could come up with on my own, and kind of had an idea in my head of how I wanted it to look. So we ran over to Wasatch Steel here in Salt Lake and bought some of that. It's a 2x4. I bought a 6-foot long piece and kind of just grabbed some markers and a couple things and started trying to design it, draw on it just the way I wanted it to look. And that's what I came up with. I wanted to kind of cut on that angle and then have this other angle off to the side. Kind of tried to follow the machine a little bit. And up on top, I didn't want the bumper just straight. So this is a pretty easy thing to do. I just made like a pie cut here with a slit in the middle and then another pie cut on the bottom. Sorry. And was able to just bend that over and get it to where I wanted it to follow the machine, and welded it back up. So those weren't too bad to do. This angle wasn't bad to do at all. Just draw it on there, take an angle grinder and cut it all off. And to box this back in, we took some of this flat bar, sorry, and laid it in just like that and welded it all the way back up. And that's kind of, you can see that a little bit. That's what it turned out like. And after I'd cut these off, this is a piece off of another part I was messing with. I was surprised how strong it was still. It didn't seem like it wanted to bend or flex or anything. So I just took it and made the brackets out of a little bit bigger piece. That goes all the way back there. You can see that bolt a little bit, I think. Right here and right about here in your frame are two factory holes. I just tapped those out, and these are 3/8 self-threading bolts. So I tapped them and then ran those self-tapping bolts up through there, and that seemed to work pretty good. And you can't really see it, but right through here there's another plate with a bolt going through this way on it, and it's got a brace made on the other side too. So I don't think the bumper will go anywhere. I'm 6'2", 230 pounds. I've been jumping up and down on it, and so far it hasn't moved or done anything. It's not loose at all. It's super solid. I think it's going to be really strong. I put a receiver hitch piece in and got the pin right back there. The pin fits perfect still. You can put that in, and I cut, this was longer. I didn't want it sticking clear out the back, so I just cut it off. And what we're going to end up doing is put this back there just on some longer rides, or when we go hunting. We'll just slide it in, lock it in place, and I'll have that extra cargo back there if we're lucky enough to get anything on the hunt. Why, we'll have a place to put it and still have my cooler and my other bags back here. That rack that I just showed you a few minutes ago was hooked up in here with a couple rods coming off the machine off the row bar. But with that hanging so low, and I've got a full-size spare, and you can't really see it. It's underneath the cover there, but it's a 28-10-14 Maxxis Carnivore, and this was my old spare tire thing. Kind of see it used to slide in right there. So it slid in that slid in the upper one there, and it slid right into the machine, and I had it where it would tighten right against it so it wasn't loose at all. But that was basically clear up in here, and sorry, you can't really see that, but it was so high up, it just didn't That's just a scooter we got done doing for my nephew. But it was the tire was so high up and the rack was so low, you really had a tough time getting in these bags or looking around or doing anything. So decided to eliminate that, do the bumper, and we'll come up with something else for the spare tire and the fuel pack and all that good stuff down the road here. I've looked at a couple things. There's a kid up in Morgan, Utah that built some racks for the back of that, and I may just go that way. Looks like he's got a really nice system down. So if we do that and mount it up, we'll let you guys know that we'll do another video and put it on there. But total cost on my bumper, I'm about $75 into this for everything I bought. So the 2x4 was a 6-foot length, and I had enough when I cut those angles off to make the brackets that you can see right here. So all that metal got used in there. The receiver hitch was only like 10 bucks, and the bolts were, I think, 7 bucks for all the bolts that I bought. So pretty cheap. Just takes a little time to build it, but I'm really happy with it. It seems really strong. So we'll see how it holds up, and we'll let you guys know down the road if it has any problems or if the bolts don't hold for some reason and I need to change them up or do anything a little bit different to the way the mounting brackets are. But if you want to build your own bumper, it's really not too bad. You got to have a few tools and just some imagination, I guess, and come up with something that you like. Like I say, we're real happy with the way it turned out, and can't wait to hit it out, get it out on the trails, and see how it does out there in the real life. And we'll let you guys know. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the guys that subscribe and all the questions and comments. I will answer everything I can. If I've got anything in here that you've seen and you guys want to know more about it, just shoot me a question and I'll get back to you and try to be as helpful as I can. Thanks for all the guys that subscribe. You guys have a good one. See ya.